Hello everyone, hope that you all are doing good. So we have been making a lot of videos now. It's time to monitor the health of our application, right? The same way as after a certain period of time our body needs a health checkup, right? So today we'll learn what are Spring Actuators and how to enable it in your application with a small hello world example. But before that, I would like to tell you that I make videos on the topic suggested by you, but still you are not supporting the channel. I would request you that if you gain some knowledge out of my videos, do like, share and comment on the videos and support the channel by subscribing it. Let's get back to the work. So first, let's discuss what are Spring Actuator. Let me take you to Spring Docs and there we'll read the definition. So Spring Boot provides a number of additional features to help you monitor and manage your application when you push it to a production, right? So this is not a production environment, but yes, we can apply actuators to our application and see that what information they can provide us, right? A basic kind of an implementation, and then we can implement these same actuators into a big project like bus reservation system, right? I'll make a separate video on that how you can implement actuators into a big application. And so Spring Boot provides you additional features to help you monitor and manage your application when you push it to the production environment. You can choose to manage and monitor your application by using HTTP endpoints or with JMX. Auditing, health and metrics gathering can also be automatically applied to your application. So we'll be doing these endpoints only, right? We'll be studying these endpoints only, health, metrics and all that, right? Info, right? So how we can enable actuators in our application. So a simple line tells us the Spring Boot Actuator module provides all the Spring Boot production ready features. The recommended way to enable the feature is to add a dependency on the Spring Boot Starter Actuator, right? So the same way that we do a Spring Starter dependency for enabling to make a simple REST API, right? Same way there is a dependency for enabling actuator, that is Spring Boot Starter Actuator, right? And then after we have enabled it, right, you can see this dependency. So after we have enabled it, then there are various endpoints that we can go to and check the health of our application, right? So there is audit events, caches, health, info, metrics, session, thread dump, heap dump, everything we can manage, right? So how we can manage these things? We have to tell it to Spring that okay, these endpoints will be enabled for our application, and that we can do by defining a property into application.property file. So now let's jump to the example. By like we'll write a code of an hello world example, right? Let me take you to the ID and let me make a new project, a Spring Starter project. Actuators implementation, right? And then we have the Java version 8 and our package is defined com Spring implementation, no issues with that. We need the Spring version 2.7.12. Now Spring version 3 is available. I am right now using 2.7 because the compatibility with the Java version 1.8 is of 2.7, right? Not above 3, right? So we'll gradually when I'll switch to Spring version 3 and above, I'll also update my Java version to 17, right? That video also I'll share, that when I am updating my Spring version and Java version and how you can do it and what all changes would be there in your projects after you do that, right? So right now I'm using 2.7 version, and then to implement a simple REST API we need a Spring Web dependency, right? And then to enable the actuators we need the Actuator Starter dependency. So if you search actuators, there is a Spring Boot Actuator dependency, so you should enable this and simply finish it. So now our project is ready, right? Our project is ready. Now the structure is like we have a main class, we have property files, and we have pom.xml. Let me first take you to pom.xml. There we can see that there will be an actuator dependency. So this is our pom.xml, right? You can see the Spring Starter dependency, right? Spring Boot Starter Actuator dependency and Spring Boot Starter dependency, right? Starter Web dependency and the Actuator dependency, right? So this was the dependency that I showed you on Spring Docs right? So you have to simply put this dependency and tell that which all endpoints you want to enable for this application, right? So for me, the let's go to first let's make a REST API, a simple hello world REST API. So let me make a controller package first. So let me do new package and let me make a controller package, right? So in the controller package, I will implement a class called as hello world controller, right? Hello world controller, right? So here what I have to write, a simple hello world controller, right? A simple rest controller. I'll mark this as a REST controller. Let me mark this as a REST controller. Let me mark this as REST controller, and then you have to make a simple endpoint here saying get mapping, right? And you can define the endpoint as say hello, right? And then you can simply say public string say hello, right? And you can simply return hello viewers, right? So this is my simple so this is my simple example of a hello REST API, right? But now I have made the controller for my application. Now what I have to do is I have to simply go to resources. So what we have to do is we have to simply go to the resources and open application.properties. Here we have to have a property that will tell Spring that what all endpoints are enabled. So the property that we'll input is management.endpoint.web.exposure.include, right? And there you have to define that what all endpoints will be enabled for your application, right? So we have health, info, and metrics endpoints enabled for our application. Let me save this, and now our code part is done, right? So now we can start running the application and check that what all is running and what all things these endpoints of health, metrics, and info will tell us, right? So let me go to run and run as Spring Boot application. So my application has started, right? Actuator implementation application has started. So let me go to the browser and let me first hit endpoint of localhost 8080 and we'll say hello, right? So this is my API that I have made in our project, right? So I have hit that endpoint and it says hello viewer. So our application is running, right? We are getting the output for /hello API. Now if I have to go to a health endpoint of this application, right? So how I can go, right? So if I again take you to the docs of Spring, now it says that the default URL is of /actuator, right? /actuator, and anything after that is an ID, right? So if I want to go to health, then the URL would be /actuator/health. If I want to go to metrics, I will have to input /actuator/metrics, right? So now if I go on to the browser and if I say I remove the hello and I'll say actuator/health, right? Actuator/health, localhost 8080/actuator/health. So what it tells us that the status is up, your application is up and running fine, right? So if I go on the endpoint of info, right? So we have enabled the info. So info doesn't show us anything right now. So this is a very small example. That's why it's not showing anything. If there would be a bigger application where we have implemented the actuators, then there might be something that info endpoint has to show to us, right? So we'll do that in some separate video, but right now this is an hello world example, so I'll keep it a very small example right here. So let me remove info and let me say metrics, right? So if I go to metrics, okay, so it tells us something regarding the disk and everything, right? So it is not showing us the values right now. The name, application time ready, application started time, disk free, disk total, each and everything is being told in the metrics, right? Tomcat session created, Tomcat session expired. Right now we only have a simple endpoint that shows a string message. That's why also I guess there is no management of memory and anything has been done. That's why it is not showing anything. So these are the details that are being shown in the metrics endpoint. So we enabled three endpoints that were health, info, metrics, and our main controller endpoint, right? So this was how you can implement a simple hello world example using actuator dependency provided by Spring, right? This could be done in a bigger project as well, but that we'll do in a separate video. But yes, this was an hello world example. Hope that you people might have got some knowledge that what are actuators, how they help you in your application, right? So this was it from this video. Hope that you people like, share, comment on the video, and if new to the channel, please subscribe and press the bell icon. Hope to see you in the next video. Till then, happy learning.